In a world full of distractions, one of the hardest things for you to do is to choose yourself, not just in theory, but in practice every single day. Desperella, your inner villain, thrives on distractions. And if you're wondering, what am I talking about? Who is Desperella? In the last couple of podcast episodes, number 116, 117, I have dove deep into why driven, ambitious women sabotage their success. And I exposed the reason why, and it is Desperella. She is your shadow side. She is an amalgamation of all the least evolved parts of you, and she thrives on settling. She literally, her fuel is fear and self-doubt, and she lives in a world of scarcity. All of this is brainwashing. All of this is conditioning. Your job, if you are to live a high standards woman life, and a high standards woman knows she's inherently worthy and therefore will always get what she wants, you have to crack the code on Desperella. And I talk more about this in those previous episodes. So if you haven't caught up, then run, don't walk, and devour those 2 episodes. And if you're a rebel at heart, then of course stick with me on today's episode and then catch up at your leisure. Hey, it's Star Monroe from the Star Monroe Show, your fabulous psychotherapist, master life coach, and founder of the High Standards Woman. This podcast is specifically curated for ambitious, driven women who demand more, who are ready to align with their highest selves, embody their inherent worth, and magnetize everything they deeply and truly desire. So let's get back to Desperella, and as you've got the understanding already, she thrives on distractions. She loves it. Desperella loves it when you fill your time with things. One of the things that I've seen women do through these 35 years of working with them is they have this endless to-do list. Are you nodding your head? Do you have one of those? And Desperella fills your time with endless to-do lists, with endless things to do, which take you further and further away from your true desires. And your true desires live inside you. Let me say that one more time. Your true desires live inside you. And your true desires come from your soul, your highest self. And yet Desperella, this is why she's the villain, she knows that as long as you're distracted by ticking everything off your to-do list, you're never, ever going to fully step into your power as the high standards woman you're destined to become. And you continue to live with the belief that there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough opportunities, there's not enough good men, good women, good business ideas, creativity. Desperella loves that. Distractions, not all distractions are always obvious. And I'm going to dive into this some more on this episode because they show up as seemingly harmless habits. Let's talk about this. Overscheduling your day. Oh God, I remember years and years ago, I used to jam my diary. This is when I used to have a file of facts. We just laughing. I had a file of facts. It was pink. Then I had a brown one. And my whole day was scheduled from 6 till 9 in the evening. I thought that was a good thing until I had 3 mental breakdowns. So yeah, let's talk about these seamlessly harmless habits. Overscheduling your day. Endlessly scrolling through social media. Put that phone down if you're listening to me right now. Saying yes to people and commitments that don't align with your goals. Ooh, Desperella wants you to stay busy because the busier you are, the less time you have to focus on your growth, to focus on your brilliance, your highest self. The high standards woman, on the other hand, is laser focused on her vision. She knows that every choice she makes either brings her closer to her desires or pulls her further away. And most importantly, she knows that choosing herself is imperative. It's a non-negotiable. So let's take this from theory into practical. And so you can go away this week and start experimenting with doing things differently in your life. So I'm going to be talking about prioritizing your time, turning off the noise, committing to your vision, and saying no to what doesn't serve you. Oh, and I might even talk about staying aligned with your higher self, because I'm the gift that keeps on giving. So prioritizing your time. Time is your most valuable resource you have, and how you spend it is a direct reflection of what you value. This podcast is like a lecture. It's like I'm preaching. It's so good. The high standards woman knows that not every demand on her time deserves her attention. She doesn't fill a calendar with unnecessary obligations or spend hours on tasks that don't align with her goals. This reminds me actually of something I just did yesterday. I've got some family out here, and my cousin was looking for some extra work. And I said, oh, well, I have some work for you to do, because I'm just doing these mindless tasks and you can do them. And so it frees me up to be more creative and plow into my book and the program that's coming. High Standards Woman finishing school, if you're wondering. So, as I've said, Desperella, however, loves to keep you busy. She convinces you, this is why and talked about this in previous episodes, you've got to insert that pause between stimulus and response as a space. You want to learn to reside in the space, because otherwise you will just believe that being constantly in motion means you're being productive. But in reality, you're just staying distracted. And the way that you can start to take this into action is start looking at your schedule. What's filling your days? What's draining your energy? Where can you create more space for yourself? Time to reflect, time to grow, time to pursue what truly matters to you. Choosing yourself means making intentional decisions about how you spend your time and not letting distractions dictate your day. Let's talk about step 2, turn off the noise. This is essential. I don't know about you, but I turned all notifications off on my phone. Everything. Doesn't even ring. In fact, I take umbrage when my phone rings. And I put it on a schedule. So I get a schedule at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. And I might even turn the schedule off, to be quite honest. And we're in a world that's constantly buzzing. Social media, news, other people's drama. Now, Desperella will thrive on this noise because it keeps you from hearing your own inner wisdom, and I'm going to be talking about your inner wisdom in a minute. When you're constantly plugged into the external world, you lose touch with your inner GPS, the part of you that knows what you truly want and need. So, what'd you do? How'd you do it? Well, you've got to get ruthless with your time, and you've got to put the phone down. It's like a hot potato. Put it down. And you've got to carve out time for silence, whether it's through meditation, morning journaling. I'm holding my hand up. Morning pages, do them from the book, Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. Or simply unplugging for an hour. And once I've done this podcast, I'm going to go for a walk in the sunset. It's my new thing. And I'm going to tell you it's very challenging to prise myself off the chair. And yet that's the easy place for me to stay working. And yet I know my higher standards, what serves me is to go out for a walk, to divest, clear my head. Walking's really good for us as well because the legs are moving right, left, and it's cross-crawling. So it gets your right and left brain hemispheres talking to each other and all the energy and the information flows and gives more space. So yeah, turn off the noise, find some more silence. Step 3, commit to your vision. One of the biggest reasons you stay distracted is because you're afraid of committing fully to your vision. Game changer last year when I stood on my veranda out here in Turkey and I went, is this it? I went, no, there's not. Well, there's a voice inside, but they went, no, it's not. And that's when I said, take yourself seriously, take your dream seriously, and take your vision seriously. And I get it. Desperella says, what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? La, 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 so on, so on. She thrives on these doubts. It's literally like cocaine to her. She just wants more and more. The thing is, if you keep listening to all of that, it's going to keep you stuck in indecision. The high standards woman, and I think I talked about this last week, everything is identity. You want to shift your life, you've got to shift your identity. This is why I'm giving you the identity of the high standards woman. and I'm giving you all these North Stars to move towards. She knows the only way to achieve her dreams is to fully commit to them. What did I just say? Take them seriously. Commitment isn't about having all the answers. I guarantee you're not going to have all the answers. And I'm here to guide you on your unique path. And I don't know what your path looks like. I don't even know what my path looks like. All I know is I take one step forward and another stepping stone appears, and so on and so forth. And so you and I have both got to get really comfortable about living in the unknown and holding the space for the unknown. Your ego hates that, by the way. And so commitment isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will unfold. It's about making the decision. Take yourself seriously with unwavering focus and faith. Oh, I like that. Focus and faith. Yes. The high standards woman doesn't get caught up in the what ifs. She takes action, aligned action. My friend Cara Arwill, she talks about aligned action. Or is it intentional action? I'm wandering off now. Knowing that clarity comes through movement. Oh, can we take a moment? Come on. Clarity comes through movement. Every time you choose to commit to your vision, you weaken Desperella's hold. That's what you want. Step 4, say no to what doesn't serve you. Talked more about that last week as well. Boundaries. Desperella wants you to say yes to everything. Told you, she's an amalgamation of the least evolved parts of you. So there's going to be that FOMO. The thing is, look, you're always going to miss out on something. That's life. Your job is not to miss out on you. Your job is not to miss out on you. So Desperella will convince you that if you turn down an opportunity, you might miss out. Desperate energy. If you don't say yes to a favor, someone might think you're selfish. But here's the truth. No, saying no is one of the most powerful ways for you to choose yourself. Write that down. Saying no is one of the most powerful ways to choose myself. And as a high standard woman, you know that your time and energy and attention are sacred. Stop wasting them on people or things that don't align with your vision. And the high standards woman isn't afraid to say no because she understands that out of every no, it creates space for a deeper, more aligned yes. There are some gems, Fifth Avenue gems in this podcast today. Desperella, on the other hand, fears rejection and disapproval. And I said this a couple of weeks ago that I'm putting together a new program, High Standards Women Finishing School. And there's a part in there about the art of detachment and becoming rejection proof. And you want to move through life where you hear no and it does not sway you. Does not sway you. What is for you, darling, is for you. And what is not for you, it's not for you. Keep on sashaying. Desperella wants you to say yes to everything, even when it drains you. And when you start saying no to what doesn't serve you, you are indeed making a bold declaration to yourself and to the world. And it says, I choose myself. Step 5, stay aligned with your highest self. My favorite. So I have lots of words for my higher self. Inner muse, divine sovereignty. It's all connected by the red thread theory. You'll have to come into my world when the course is open, when my membership is open, to hear more about this. And this is alignment. This is when you live in alignment. So all these people harping on about it. It's like, oh, you live in alignment. Well, alignment is when you stop being at war with yourself and stop letting Desperella lead. And when you finally realize, oh, I am worthy. Oh, anything I want is mine. It's inevitable, baby. And you do that by aligning yourself with your higher self. So you choose yourself. And so how do you get there? You choose yourself over distractions. And it's not just a one-time decision. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to do this because this sounds like a great idea. And then next week you're distracted again. Oh, yeah, I'm calling you out. Yes, you. I'm calling you out. It's a daily practice. It's a daily practice. Every day you'll be faced with choices that either pull you closer to your vision or push you further away. And the high standards woman stays aligned with her higher self by making conscious, intentional decisions. Deliberately intentional. She's clear on her priorities and she makes choices that reflect her commitments to those priorities. Desperella wants you to drift, bumble through life, reacting to whatever comes your way. But the high standards woman is proactive. Yes. She creates the life she wants by staying aligned with her deepest desires. So those 5 steps on how you begin to prioritize yourself over distractions. It's 1, prioritize your time. Turn off the noise. Commit to your vision. Say no to what doesn't serve you and stay aligned with your higher self. Choosing yourself is a radical act of self-love. Self-love ain't bubble baths and chocolate. I mean, yeah, it is, but it's just like it's a surface layer. At the heart of choosing yourself over distractions is a deep act of self-love. A deep act of self-love. You're sacred, you're holy, you are a temple. You need to pay reverence to yourself. It's about recognizing that you, your dreams, your desires, and your well-being are worthy of your full attention. Like, hello. Your body's like, hey, I'm here. Your inner self, your higher self is like, hey, I'm here. Desperella will always try to pull you off course with distractions, doubts, and fears because she's sniffing them up every single day. But every time you choose yourself, every time you prioritize your time, you turn off the noise and you commit to your vision, you take 1 sachet closer to the life you truly want. The high standards woman doesn't settle. She doesn't get lost in distractions. She chooses herself over and over again, unapologetically and consistently. And the more you choose yourself, the more your life will reflect your highest potential. And that's what you're here for. Good. I'm glad you're nodding your head. Heads up, enrollment for the High Standards Women's Society, that is my private members, reopens her doors early 2025 for the next cohort. This is where you get to mingle and jingle with women who are stepping into their higher selves and making their dreams a reality. And we will deep dive more on the 9 core concepts of becoming a high standards woman. Make sure you are part of my inner circle at thehighstandardswoman.com and you will be the first to know. And as always, I am deeply and truly grateful for your time, for your energy, for your willingness to blast through the noise, blast through the brainwashing and return back to wholeness, return back to love, return back to your inherent worthiness. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to show up and be a bright light. Join me each week on the Star Monroe Show for transformational conversations, insights and strategies to help you on this journey. Embrace unapologetic confidence. We all need more unapologetic confidence and live a life aligned with your highest self. It's time to become the woman who always gets what she wants.